I'm Brandon Montour, and you're listening to Missin Curfew.
What's Missin Curfew? It's when you kind of play guilty, but you show up.
How nice is a green light on the road, though? No practice tomorrow, no plane, just go.
Scottie Upshall in the clear, and he scores! Right in front, scores!
A few laughs, a little bit of fun, and obviously a lot of hockey talk.
You're listening to Missin Curfew.
Fellas, coming to you from Hall Pass Media in Newport Beach, this is Missin Curfew. And before we start snapping around crispy rice, spicy tuna, let's not forget this show is always presented by DraftKings. DraftKings, the crown is yours. Obes, the up dog, and our boy Swishy Swish, 93-1 from the chin of Scottsdale, as he would say. Boys, how we doing? Richie, fella, we're thinking about you. Buck, his mouth's all banged up. He had to have like surgery, and he's fucking in one. His wisdom teeth. Richie, we miss you, boys, but good to see you.
Anything but the nose.
Yeah, exactly.
So, Richie, we're thinking about you. God, a little infection in the wisdom tooth.
Buddy, they've been telling me, we're going right into dental work here. They've been telling me I need to get my wisdom teeth out for years. Yeah. And I keep being like,
a little lip.
I believe that like the dentists, they lie a bit.
Yeah.
Like, I think they try to scare you more than really, like, people have been living with teeth forever, right? Like, before, back in the day when people...
Caveman.
Yeah, I'm just, maybe not that far back, but, like, people, like my dad, for example, right? My dad probably didn't take care of his teeth that well.
Yeah.
You know, he's just going to be 79 years old, I believe, this January. Like, do you think they kind of try to scare you into doing stuff? Or no?
They must call them wisdom teeth for a reason.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. You probably asked ChatGPT why is it called the wisdom tooth? Like, what is so wise about the teeth that don't bother to come out until they're a big fucking problem? I don't know, Schmaltzy.
Boys, mechanics and dentists, two people in your life that you need to be able to trust. Otherwise, they're going to scam you.
Yeah.
You go to a mechanic, he'll take you to the coals. He'll say you got a dirty filter in your car, your engine's off, your screws are here.
Your pistons are jammed up.
Yeah.
Yeah, your axles, your brakes, you need new brake pads, all this shit. You need new tires. That's the same thing for the dentist. They can go in there. They can find a ton of different problems. But if there's a guy that you actually trust, you need to lean on him. So those are two things in life that you can really get scammed on. So you got to watch your chin.
Do you have your wisdom teeth out, though? No?
I still got mine.
You still got yours.
I'm a great dentist right now. In fact, your girl goes to him. He's awesome.
Yeah, I know. Swish, you have yours?
No, I got mine pulled out. I strictly did it for the perks.
Pull out it. What a dope pull out.
They're giving you perks for that?
I need
They used to, yeah.
Yeah, I think, yeah.
I like laughing gas. I like when you go in there and you just get that little thing on your schnoz. You just go,
Boys,
I like
and then you're just calm.
I like the character Jennifer Aniston plays in Horrible Bosses when she's the horny little dental hygienist or dentist, and she comes in there and drugs up her patients and then fucking tees off on them. I'm like, where do I get a dentist like that? Where do I sign up for that, fella? I need a new dentist. My Mac Miller does love your dentist. My dentist is in the heart of Newport Beach, right at Fashion Island. And every time I come in and out there, they're like, you need more x-rays and another this and this and that. And then I'm like, okay, how much is that going to be? And then they slide me, they're like $7,000. I'm like, in what world do you think I'm going to pay $7,000 for any of this stuff?
Just pull these fuckers.
Yeah, like look at my teeth. They're mangled already.
Yeah, I've been fucking hitting the lips a million times.
So, Swish, you would agree with me. A dentist and a mechanic. I like that fella. I knew you would understand what I was saying.
No, 100%. I mean, also, if you get a crown put on your tooth, like and that gets infected, like that's one of the worst things possible going. So you got to be careful with putting those crowns on. It's a hoax, man, because they got to make their status quo too. So any chance they get in there, they muck your teeth up and send you a bill with $10,000. Yeah, it's a little bit of a scam, I think.
Big pharma.
I'm with you.
Yeah,
I'm with you. Richie, we're thinking about you, fella. Swishy. Breaking news for you and Home by 3. Bobby Gucci are heading to Winnipeg for the what Grey Cup is it? 100 and fucking how many?
100. It is the 112th edition of the Grey Cup at the iconic Princess Auto Stadium, right in the guts of Winnipeg, Manitoba. We will be at the Shark Club the Saturday before the 15th of November. A little meet and greet, a little meat and cheese. Get out the charcuterie board, dust off some Pilsners, some Fireball. I can't wait, man. Can't wait to get up to the Grey Cup. I've never been. It's a bucket list item for me. Obviously, it's the hardest 9-team league in the world. And if the Saskey Riders make this thing, I'm going to be fired up. They got a big tilt on Saturday in the Western Final against the BC Lions. So we'll see how that goes. But I can't wait to get up to Las Vegas, fella.
I love that they say it's a festival. Because it is.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, it gives Canadians something to do in November just to get
Fuck, besides freeze your balls off. What's the weather like?
Can't be perfect.
I've never seen a Grey Cup where I'm like, looked at the weather and I'm like, God, I kind of wish I was there.
No, that's you guys are leading the charge, though. It's nice to have a guy. You guys got boots on the ground.
No, I love it.
Yeah, we got full.
Love to do a call in with you guys. Maybe on like what day are you going up?
We're going up.
Thursday?
We're gonna get in. We're gonna get in late Friday because it's the only direct bird into Chinnipeg. So we're gonna get in late Friday, and then we'll be out Monday morning. So it's gonna be an absolute shift.
You're looking at Sunday. You're looking at a high of 33, a low of 24.
I like that because we actually have press access, so we're in the press box. So we'll be inside at Princess Auto Stadium. So it'll be pretty good.
That's nice.
That's like minus 3 and -5. It's not too bad.
That'll fucking tickle your ball sack a little bit.
I want to put those little crack warmers in your nutsack. The ones that
100%.
just blast and shake them and stick them in there. Yeah, you're going to want a couple of those.
You know what's crazy? The little I know about the Grey Cup is like Winnipeg has been in the last 3 Grey Cup finals? Have they not been or something like that?
Yeah, maybe at least 2 of 3, I would say.
And this year they're not there. They're not going to be when they're hosting it.
No, they got beat out in the crossover game against the Alouettes.
Those pesky Alouettes.
I feel like you're going to meet
Anthony Calvillo.
some interesting folks go to Grey Cups and cheer on their local CFL team. You're going to meet some interesting shenanigans there.
A cast of characters, and that fits right in with Home by 3. So I'm fired up. They're giving us full press access too, as long as they haven't watched our show. Hopefully, the CFL is working in good hands with us and good fortune that after the game, we're going to be in the locker room interviewing players. We're going to do some stuff Saturday during the day on the field. So I'm fired up. Like I said, hopefully they haven't watched Home by 3 yet, so they won't revoke that. But I'm fired up, man. Can't wait to get to the Grey.
Is that beauty Luke Wilson going to be boots on the ground? Because if so, I know you know him. I love that guy, man. I'd like to get pinned with him.
Yeah, his chin's going to be there. He's going to stop by Shark Club. We're doing a live pod there, not a live show. So he's going to stop by. We're going to get some content with him. I can't wait to see him. Never met him in person, so it's going to be good to get to Earl's on Main, have some chili chicken with him, and just probably have about 14 kokanees.
Yeah, he was with Peter Gurgis at game 2. I was down behind the Jays dugout, and they were up in his suite, and Gurgis kept FaceTime. He's like, come up here. I'm like, I'm not coming all the way up there, fella. I love you, Gurgis, but I'm down here fucking 7 rows behind the fucking dish. I'm not coming all the way up. I don't even know how to get there.
Luke Wilson are we talking?
Tight end for the Seahawks. Great guy.
Right. Yeah.
Works for TSN, does NFL and TSN, and follows this league as well. Oh, the Tiger Cats are in the East Final.
Yeah,
Best uniforms maybe in the CFL.
He was a Super Bowl champion, and a fun fact about Luke Wilson, he was a high school classmate of none other than Zach Granite Chin Cassian in Windsor, Ontario. So that's a little tidbit there. He actually played hockey growing up, too.
Speaking of Wilsons, after we finished our round the other day, I don't know if you noticed this because you were buzzing, but Owen Wilson was on the range at Riv working on the game. I'm like, oh, there must be a second season of Stick.
For sure.
What's it called? Stick.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was there grinding.
Was he?
Owen Wilson.
Did you go up to him, Oaks?
Did I go up to him? No. I had to take a piss. I was in a hurry.
Yeah. I would have went up to him and just been like, wow, just wow.
You know what? He used to shoot a lot of movies in Vancouver. I've had a couple nights. Shout out to Peter Gurgis again with Owen Wilson at 100 Nights. One of Peter's first clubs he opened.
Yeah.
Right there in Yaletown on the corner. It was attached to the hotel you stayed at during our rookie party.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Oh, that I had a room at. I never.
Yeah.
Stayed up at.
Speaking of shenanigans,
I had an epic 7-match ping pong game against him and Woody Harrelson, and
I would love to get pinned with
beyond
Woody.
epic. And then our boy Mac L flew into the U.S. Open this year and landed the day before and played like a marathon padel game against Owen and K-Wash. He said it was awesome. Two characters there.
I mean, I love Woody Harrelson so much. I've never seen a guy more baked on a Joe Rogan podcast than Woody Harrelson. If you haven't listened to it or watched it on YouTube, he is just cooked the entire time. It's awesome.
I'd say he's cooked all the time.
Yeah.
He lives in Hawaii. He's feet up.
Yeah.
No
Woody,
shoes on.
He's a legend. He's a legend. Swishy, I love it. I love that you're getting the respect you deserve with the press passes. I cannot wait to see that content. Updog, moving on here in a little Missin Curfew intro. You went to the Ducks-Cats game take the over on DraftKings Sportsbook anytime the Ducks lace them up. We're going to get into that. But I saw a great video of you, Izzy, and Beckham giving some high fives to the boys coming by. It's a nice little setup in there, isn't it?
It was amazing. Shout out to Chris Loomis, Ducks, PR guy, taking good care of the alumni. I'm going to consider myself one now, Obes. I've lived here long enough. If it wasn't Getsy, you had to just pull a few more strings. Maybe I had a chance to wear that jersey.
I think he tried. I tried. I think Getz tried too. But Bob,
I knew I was too close with you.
Bob Murray's like, yeah, exactly. Well said.
Listen, they have a great setup there. They finally figured out the parking, which is awesome. Now you just pull into the big parking garage, get out there. I took Beckham and Izzy to see my old team defending, two-time Stanley Cup champs now, the Florida Panthers. It was a great game, but one thing to point out is just how dynamic, fellas, this Ducks team plays. And they go all offense. They look like they're having a good time out there. Vets and young players are buzzing. We're going to get into a few of their younger guys later. Beckham and Izzy just, giving high fives. This is the Impact Club. You go in there, a nice meal. I had a glass of wine. Beckham and Izzy were, I did my point, getting them some food before the game. And then we went up. I watched the first period. We stayed to see the Zamboni, and then we bounced just because I got to get the kids home for bed. But awesome experience, and it's just nice to, just have an NHL team here taking care of the guys.
Yeah, listen, the Ducks have, shout out to Loomis, our boy Loomis, Alex Gilchrist with the Ducks. Yeah, they do an unbelievable broadcast still with Johnny Ellers and Brian Hayward. And listen, the Ducks are trying to do cool things. I love their social media department. Obviously, the Impact Club is them trying to make a difference. You talked about the new parking structure. Samueli is starting to build stuff around the rink, calling Anaheim Live or something like that. I believe, the way the team's playing, all the stuff they're trying to do, even the orange jerseys are starting to grow on me with the orange buckets. It's like we're starting to get a little momentum here in Orange County.
Bud, you were right on. You're bang on about Dosko last year. He's legit.
He could check.
He's going to get a spot in the Olympic team too, and he's a real deal. But their team's just all offense, and it's a good thing to play because the fans here are still. I sat next to some guys, and I kind of explore as the game's kind of happening. I'm kind of telling Beckham what's going on, and these guys are like, "Wow, you really know the game?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I got a podcast, whatever." And I was joking, but the fans, they're engaged, but they still don't quite know the game yet. Watching these young players and getting all hyped up for how they're playing the game is good for the fans here. And they're scoring goals at will. They're winning games. They're up top of the West Conference right now. They're playing
3-1, I believe the fucking Ducks are. Ducks hockey. DUX, Ducks hockey. Swishy, Ducks like rain, fella.
Ducks do not hate rain.
Ducks like rain.
Right now. If they see rain, they'll go swim. They'll get in that puddle. They'll go muck it up. It's cool to see.
Yeah, that was our saying since Ducks like rain. Come on, boys. Ducks like rain. Ducks hockey, DUX.
That was Disco Dan, right?
Yeah, Disco Dan, Malacco. Well, it started my first year pro with him and Casey Hankinson. Captain America is still my favorite captain in pro hockey, Casey Hankinson. And then the next year, Disco was our coach, and Ducks like rain. High octane squad, man. Leo Carlson looks unbelievable. I got to give Troy Terry some love too. I like the way his game's going right now. And Chris Kreider, say what you want about his style. Sometimes it's not perfect, but he goes to the net and his ability to tip pucks.
Yeah.
They're fun to watch right now.
His body in the right ways. He's always, he's tough guy to play against.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, it's good on Coach Q because he's letting them go. And when you have a Lucas DeStol back there, and you can give up the odd chance here or there, it helps. So it's fun to watch. Loomis, thank you for hooking up the up dog. Boys, moving on here. Big news out of Long Island and Boston earlier in the week. The big Russian train, Zadorov is up to it again. Took a lot of heat in his DMs for giving the young kid, Matthew Schaefer, a rough ride. Swishy, I'll start with you. I know how much you love this kid's game. I think everyone loves this kid's game. However, I'm still kind of old school where if this kid's flying around 100 miles an hour out there and you can't really catch him, but he comes into the dirty areas like that, like he's somewhat going to the net there, I really got no problem with this. I think the Islanders need to address the tough guy, Swishy, but for me, I probably would have done the same thing to this young kid because I couldn't catch him. If he came near me, I probably would have gave him a rough ride.
Yeah, 100%. And first off, I saw Zadorov posted his DMs for, his Instagram after the game. I mean, if he thought those were bad, he should have taken a look at after Acai Bowlgate. I was getting death threats. So stay with it. Keep your chin tucked out, Big Z. But yeah, I think for for Schaefer, he's coming in the league. He's coming in hot, right? So he's got that big personality. His play has backed it up. And if Zadorov sees, maybe I can get a lick on this kid, why not take that? Obes, I'm with you. I don't have a problem with it. I love that the Islanders jumped in. You had Anders Lee, the captain, in there. Obviously, Duclair off the top rope, too, with a little bit of a chokehold. I don't mind it. I don't mind Big Z seeing a younger player. If you can't catch him, well, you got to rough him up a little bit. And also, too, just kind of giving him a little welcome to the league moment and make sure, okay, if you're going to be this big personality, you're going to be high flying out here, well, there's guys like me in this league that can put you in your place pretty quick. So I do think the Islanders need to address their tough guy, but I don't mind it for Big Z.
I just want to say, I don't think there was anything wrong with the play. There's nothing dirty there. It's a guy, it's an engagement, and I think he's lucky.
Yeah, it's not. He doesn't. Hey, rewind that, KC, though. Watch his left knee here up. He's lucky he doesn't blow out his ACL here when the Big Z man pushes him down, like right here.
I mean, he just he knows it's coming. Like, once you engage and then you hit the wall, like, he could have kind of probably went left or right. He kind of engages. Big Z is going to give you, I mean, you're basically, you're pinpoint right at his head. So, I mean,
hey, that's hockey, man.
That's hockey.
Listen,
there's
and I think for Islanders fans and the young Schaefer kid, this in the long term is good for him.
Great.
Right? Like, get roughed up a little bit. He's all right. Like, nothing happened here.
He handled it well. Love to see his team's reaction, though, too.
I took some heat from some Islanders fans saying it wasn't near the blue paint. Well, Schaefer was trying to go to the blue paint, and Big Z just didn't allow it.
Yeah.
Right? He was trying to go to the net there, and the big man said, no, not on my watch. So maybe Matt Martin's got to dust off the fucking bring him back, eh? Matty Martin, what are you doing, fella? Are you in shape? We might need you. I'm going to throw a name out there. I know he's just at a PTO with the Springfield, whatever they're called, Thunderbirds. Vulcans.
What are they called?
Good strip club in Springfield.
I think they're the
Thunderbirds?
Thunderbirds, yeah.
So are they the birds? And then we have the Firebirds in Coachella.
Yeah, we got the Thunder and the Firebirds
going around. A lot of birds.
A lot of bird watching. Division, eh? Did you ever go to that strip club in Springfield, Swishy?
No, I got traded to that division. I played in every single division in the jungle, but I was a late trade to Bridgeport, and I just played like 2 games in Springfield. I remember that MGM Grand Casino outside the rink, and I was like, this place sucks.
Yeah.
So now I never went to the strip club there, though.
Greasy.
Yeah.
Milan Lucic right there. Good job, KC. I know he's on a PTO down there, but if you're the Islanders, you don't want anyone to touch your young kid, go out there and give Lucci a 1-year deal and bring him in. He'll protect the young kid. Chris Wagner's down there, too. Fuck, he's too good a guy to be in the minors, too.
Lucic's rocking the visor, too. I just hate to see that, especially the Choco. Like let him wear the nothing.
They won't. When I went down, I tried. It's the rule. I'm like, no grandfathered in down here or what?
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Hey, good for the Islanders. Good for Big Z. Play the right way. Last but not least, our little intro here. Easton Cohen went from the Never Hungry League down to the jungle, cold pizza, riding the buses. Listen, I didn't expect him to make the team coming out of camp. However, there were some injuries up front to some guys. I thought he looked good in his first. I believe he played 8 or 9 games. I think going down for him is better off right now. Let him go down. Let him get his touches. Let him get his feel in the American League. I do think we will see Easton Cowan again for the Leafs this year. I'm sure that's not really a surprise to most Leafs fans. But I think if he goes down, it's going to help him. And when he comes back up, dog, I think in the second half of the season and into playoffs, this Easton Cowan is going to turn himself into an important piece for the Leafs. And going down right now, kid, keep your head up. Work hard, because I think it's a good thing, Ups.
Kid's got good hair, 10 games, one goal, 3 apples. You got to go get seasoned a little bit, right? I think it's a no-brainer by them to, and this could be a play for long-term, have some wiggle room with the cap and whatnot, right? Like, as the injuries start to pile on, guys are coming. I think Scott Lawton's coming in off IR. Just go down, score some goals, field the puck, come back up. As we were talking before this, Schmaltzy, Matthews needs some offensive guys, some guys to have a spark. I think this kid could fill in that role at some point, but, good looking kid, and he'll be back up.
Yeah, for sure, fellas. I mean, I even looked back to when I was originally just retired and I was coming back down here to Arizona. I was watching a kid named Dylan Gunther. Now, Dylan Gunther in 2023-24 played 45 games up with the Arizona Coyotes, but he got called up after the New Year, Obes, and he actually spent about 30 games in the minors right out of camp. Some were saying that he could maybe made the team out of camp. maybe go send them down and get a little bit of lemon pepper seasoning. I think that's the same case. You let him cook in the minors, you get his confidence up, and after the end of the new year or after the new year, if he's really going well, you call him back up and he's got a whole new just lease on life, and he feels good. So I think it's important to play those big minutes, play all the specialty teams, and I like the move, and I think moving forward, obviously, it's going to benefit him and his career.
Yeah, and I would just say go down him going down there, keep the same mindset of how you played in the NHL. Don't go back down there and try to play like you did in junior and get that. Go down there, bring what you learned in those 8 or 9 games, and play that same way down there. And you'll obviously have more time and space. But sometimes you can go down and Troy G. Ward, when I went down the American League, I fucking was trying to go like cross ice sauce. He's like, try to play how you would play in the NHL. I'm like, this is how I played, Wardo. That's why I'm down.
I know.
That's why I'm down here, fella.
There's a fine line with that too, where like you could go too hard and like you're gonna put yourself in maybe a bad spot. Like you're gonna try to hit some guys and do some, but you do need to show that you don't want to be here.
Exactly.
Like practice. You practice hard. You fucking show up. You're early. You leave late. You're good, even though you're a young kid and you're 20.
Don't show up hung cheese every morning.
Oh, but you stick around after practice. You work on your game. You show the coaches down there that this kid doesn't belong here. This kid doesn't want to be here. Yeah. But the Leafs are going to want to see like A, production, and then B, is he fucking engaged? Is he doing these little things? That's important. And whether you think they know or not, they do, right? They know, they fucking talk, they know, but this is going to be a short-term little stint. And like I said, the cap being an issue, these kids just go back and forth.
Yeah. No, it's nice. You teed me up. First of all, shout out to Brian Burke, the big Irishman. When I got sent down, he said that. He's like, all you can do is go down there and be the best player down there and try to get out. There's no point in going down sulking and this and that. But what you said about a good-looking kid, it must be nice to still be in Toronto though, right? Like you stay in the same house. You get sent down, your paychecks aren't quite as good, but you can still continue to build that bullpen and keep your bullpen ready for when you're back up in the National League. Like,
you think they got a National League bullpen and a minor league bullpen?
I think probably when you get sent down, there's a couple, girls that are probably like, we'll see when you get back up there. But he's got some girls that are either NHL or American League, though. Either way it goes, they'll go with them.
It definitely helps bringing them to games.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I mean, tickets in Vancouver were like gold, but yeah, it was nice. So, Easton, Calvin, good luck, buddy. Boys, we'll be right back. I'm Missin Curfew. Welcome back to Missin Curfew. DraftKings, baby. Bets, and more bets. Presented by DraftKings. DraftKings, the crown is yours. Fellas, if you haven't downloaded the DraftKings Pick 6 app, you're missing out, boys. I'll tell you what, boys, I'm getting close. I'm sniffing. It's like a guy that's getting lots of scoring chances. You're like, fella, keep shooting it. I went 4 for 6 in my last 2 bets. I'll do my one from last night, Wednesday. A couple Russian boys cost me. Buchnevich and Burakovsky didn't get over half a point. I hit the rest of them. Felabrini, goal, boom. Matthews, goal, boom. Nylander, goal, boom. Toffoli, over 2.5 shots. I knew the old veteran would put pucks in the net playing with those boys on the power play. It's a lot of fun. I'm sniffing Swishy. I'm going to hit one of these. That one was big odds. That was like $50 to win 2,700 or something. I'm sniffing, fella. I'm going to get one off my ass and in there eventually.
Oh, I know. And I threw in one on Monday night, and it came down to John Tavares not having over 3.5 shots. He came out with the old cloak game where you put bagels across the board. He had 0 shots, 0 points, 0 plus minus. I mean, the guy was basically just walking around like he was an invisible ghost. So he fucked me on that. But I'm looking ahead at my big board for Sunday, and I'm going to stay on this. I'm going to football, though. I got Drake May over 243 yards, Sam Darnold over 1.5 passing touchdowns, your boy Baker Mayfield over 1.5 passing touchdowns, Zay Flowers over 4.5 receptions, Kittle over 4.5 receptions, and Keenan Allen 4.5 receptions. That is over. So I'm going heavy quarterbacks and receivers hopes. We'll see if that hits, fella, but I'm kind of just sprinkling the board there, and we'll see what happens.
I like that you're tickling it. I'll tell you what, Sam Darnold, if he plays like he did on Monday Night Football, he was making it rain. He was 16 for his first 16 with 4 TDs in the first half.
They're playing Arizona, too.
Yeah, watch out for Arizona, though. We learned that the hard way there. Their defense is actually not horrendous. Or maybe just Prescott had a bad night, but
cost me.
Yeah, I love it. So, boys, get involved. DraftKings Pick 6. It's a lot of fun. Always gamble responsibly. Continued on with DraftKings, baby. Bets, and more bets. Fucking Habs, man. I had the Habs, Avs, Knights, Ducks in a parlay cafe for like big time odds, and the Flyers went in there and won. Trevor Zegras had an unbelievable game. They came storming back 3-3. Arbor Jack guy, I absolutely love this kid, but they come storming back from down 3 to make it 4-3. Delorier comes out, challenges him to fight. Jack guy fights him. In that particular situation, I'm sure Marty told him, you don't fight, as much as you want to fight. We just came storming back. They have no momentum. They fight, great fight, 4-4, and then a shootout. I'll tell you what, that Trevor Zegras is a weapon in the shootout. If you're betting against the Flyers, you have to take into consideration. You have to take into consideration that you might as well chalk him up as 1-0 in the shootout. And Talks runs him out first. And he just came in, took his time at the Bell Center, places booing him. Take his time, 5-0.
Yeah.
And that first goal, as we all know, especially when you got money on it, it's so huge. It's like, fuck, you feel like you've already lost, kind of.
He's at loophole numbers. I think he's 15 for 23 or something.
This was a good move here. He just lost to Deminoff. Yeah, fuck. That's when I knew my money was out the door.
The Flyers playing well. Well done, Talks.
Playing well. They can't score, so that's why I took the Habs. And before I know it was 3-0.
Great
2 power plays.
Power move there.
I will say this too. I think I say it every year, but like these young refs, I've started watching hockey again since the World Series ended. I've watched a lot of it. Like, fuck off with calling everything, right? Swish, like just let the boys play. Like these guys are so horny to make calls. It's embarrassing.
Yeah, I think it's situational too, right? It's the timely calls and it just all depends on how the flow of the game. I think you got to take into account a lot of the times just the flow of the game and just like don't get so horny to if you miss one call and you made it and then you want to make a makeup call. It's just like let the game flow in and just be into the game other than just putting your fucking whistle into your mouth every chance you get.
Yeah, they're not there to watch you. Okay?
No,
as much as you think everyone is there to watch you, they're not. So good on Talks and the boys to fuck up my parlay cafe. We talked earlier in the week about our boy Coop and the Lightning had won 5 straight. Just went in and beat the Mammoth AK Hockey Club. They're going into Mile High City. I said, Coop, I love you, fella. I'm taking the Avs. Avs money line hit. Knights money line hit against the Wings. And then last night I had the Leafs against the Hockey Club. Against the Mammoth AK the Hockey Club. I almost went full creamer, but I didn't have the balls to pull the trigger. But big win for the Leafs. Swishy, I want to stay there with the Leafs on you, buddy. We have some different thoughts on their squad right now. I'll start with you. What do you think of the Maple Leafs Hockey Club?
Well, I just think they're almost. I like the brand that they're going to be building towards for the playoffs. Obviously, the previous regime and the coaching staff wasn't able to get to this team to really buy into the brand of winning playoff hockey. Now you bring in Craig Berube, you bring in Brad Treliving at the helm. And they built this team up to, well, it's not as sexy of hockey, but it's hockey that works. And it's heavy, it's heavier. I just think, we can talk about their decor all you want, and I don't think that's no secret. But I do think they are really missing a void on that right side in their top 6. You can't rely on one line and go real heavy up top playing Will Nylander and Austin Matthews together, especially during a 7-game series, because what if that line goes cold? Now the trickle-down effect of a one heavy line, you see it in Edmonton a lot of times where they'll put Draisaitl and McDavid together and then they'll break them up. So I think they still need help on that right side in their top 6. I would love to hear your thoughts. You seem a little bit higher on Machelli than I am.
Yeah, well, listen, he had a great game last night. He was a healthy scratch. Big Chief had seen enough, and the team I was watching kind of through my ALCS World Series bender was Toronto, and I was with them on Machelli. And I remember Richardson, and I respect Richardson's opinion as much as anyone. He's like, this kid's got good vision, good hands. You're going to be surprised. And I'm like, well, where is it? Was kind of what I was thinking. I know it's early, new team. He looked great last night. I think they expect him to be a top 6 guy. However, for me, I hear what you're saying. And last night watching the game, your brother Nicky Schmaltz, I'm thinking, I know I'm sure he's going to resign in Utah and all that, but I'm thinking he would be a nice fit on the right side for the Toronto Maple Leafs. However, I believe, in my opinion, and this is going to be kind of weird right now because Chiefs got this guy in the 4th line, but I just go back to a couple of years ago when Max Domi was playing with Austin Matthews the year they lost in 7 to Boston. Which year? They fucking lost every year to Boston in 7. But, I would go, with the team they have right now, I would go Nyes, Matthews, Domi on the right side. Then I would go Tavares, McMahon, Nylander. That's what I would do. I think Max, when you bump him up there, the way he can see the ice and he can move, I think it's good for Matthews. But my biggest concern and why I don't think they can win right now is with their back end. Obviously, Tanev's out. Carlo and Myers, being in the lineup at the same time is trouble, like big time trouble. This Brandon Carlo, to me, is a 5'6" defenseman. Right now, he's playing with Morgan Riley. So to me, moving forward, Swishy, I like the way they're built up front. I think their third line with Waugh, Joshua are more of a playoff style team. I think they're not going to be as good as a regular season team, but once they get in, if they get in, I love their forward group, but their holes to me up, so I'll go to you, is on their back end with Carlo and Myers. I know Myers is only in right now because Tanev is out, but to me, if Tanef's in, you got Tanev as your 4, Carlo as your 6, they still need a right-handed D-man to play with Morgan Riley.
Yeah, the Tanev situation is it's unfortunate, and we're gonna, we'll probably hear more on that. But if he's out long term, they should be able to address, where to bring in a guy, how to place that money somewhere. I know we spoke about this a few weeks ago, Schmaltzy, but Vince Dunn is the Dunn project, or the situation in Seattle, is it working out? If not, could he be a local kid to come in? I would like their centerman, though. I like their centerman.
Yeah.
Austin Matthews, Tavares, Roy, and Lawton. Those are good. I think this, they're missing a depth scorer, this Robertson on the
There's no Rich Marner, right?
Well, yeah, but Marner wasn't so much the scorer that I think they need. They need more scoring. I look at William Nylander as a playmaker in this lineup. I look at, Tavares is their second best, scorer to Matthew Nyes. So, to me, adding a Schmaltz or adding a pure goal scorer, a guy that just, when he has the puck on his stick, it's going to the net, it's going hard. That's really, to me, what can bring this team to the next level.
Yeah, and look, they're hoping that this Nick Robertson Swishy takes the next step, right? Chiefs giving him every opportunity. He started as a Leaf, found himself in Sheldon Keefe's doghouse. Last year, Berube kind of gave him a little more leash. He's playing him top 6. This kid has all the tools, Swishy. And if he could take the next step and start scoring some more goals for them, that would be huge for their production down their lineup.
Yeah, and I think if you get a good response for either from Michelli or Robertson, that's a win. If one of those guys can really flourish in that top 6, I love Michelli's game. I love his edges. I love the way he gets in and out of piles. I love how he plays in the high ice on the cycle game in the offensive zone. I just think he needs to be more consistent. That's not a secret. Now you go to the back end. Did you see that goal last night with Brandon Carlo trying to chase that puck down, Obes? It was kind of a foot race between him and Lawson Krause. First of all, Carlo, I didn't know he skated with a piano on his back.
Oh, yeah.
My God, did he look slow there, brother. Oh, I mean, Lawson Krause, love him too. He's not the fleetest foot guy either, and he got absolutely torched with even having a head start on that puck. It was a classic neutral zone, go shag the biscuit, and he got beat so bad on that puck. I was like, wow, Carlo is really slow. Wow.
Oh, yeah, he's O'Brien slow. And I'll tell you what, he's making life harder on Morgan Riley. He puts Morgan in some spots, Swish, where he brings the puck to you, then goes D to D to you. You're like, fella, fuck, you just brought every winger and center coming here. Now the whole play's on my side. A lot of shitburgers on the yellow where Morgan's got to pick it off, then get his head up. In the National League, when you got to pick it off the yellow because your partner put you in the soup, that half a second, nothing's open. You just got to get it out.
How brutal is it when your defenseman, I mean, it's a big time unwritten rule, especially as partners, Obes, when he skates it over the midline. Fellas, stay dot to dot, because now you're bringing the whole forecheck on my side, whether it's in and around the trapezoid or it's even in the neutral zone. He hangs on to it too long, and then when you put yourself on that other side of the midline, it's so easy to forecheck, and that's how you get in the soup, and you spend so much time in your own end.
Exactly, the soup. I will say this about Brandon Carlo. I believe him as a 6th defenseman. He's a good PKer. He's got the willingness to block shots. His size and length in front of the net helps him on the PK. But he's a 12 to 15-minute guy, PK, 6th defenseman. That is what he is. And I don't know if it's the concussions or the injuries. Don Sweeney and Cam Neely, tip your hat. You pulled a fast one on fucking everyone, because last year at the deadline, myself included, I'm like, what a pickup. Brandon Carlo and Morgan Riley, there's your top fucking D pair. He's not that player. So we'll see how that pans out. And I'll tell you what, Nicholas Waugh and Joshua, I love their game, but there's a reason why they're third liners. They do a lot of things, and then all they got to do is make that little sauce pass or whatever, and they kind of fuck it up, right? That's why they're third liners.
Yeah, I felt the pain.
Yeah.
I was there.
Yeah, me too. I mean, I try to make a play, and it just bounces over my guys.
Because they don't touch the puck that often. Give them a little credit.
No, I love them.
When you don't play PP anymore in this league, it's fucking hard to finish those exact plays when they're there.
Dude.
That split second where the PP guys are just so used to feeling the biscuit in practice, and
dude,
it's a fucking huge difference.
It's so big. As a defenseman, I may in my career, I might have got, in Vancouver, one good look a month.
Yeah.
Like one good look a month where I was like in Vancouver, if there's offenses on face-off, they would take me off typically.
Yeah.
I was like, fuck Bonesy. Fuck, let me just try to pull her off the side, fucking pull her off the wall here. Fucking get her in there.
Let me go crisp, tape to tape inside their blue line.
LBX gonna sit the fuck down. He gets enough looks.
I'm sick of fucking breaking the puck out.
Yeah. Oh, I know.
I know.
Skating back together.
Yeah. But I'm sick of blocking shots in my own zone.
We will see. Swish, I appreciate your intel, buddy. There definitely is some work for Brad Tree living in that front office, but I think they're built for playoff hockey. They just got to get in the dance. So speaking of playoff hockey, I'll be nothing better than playoff hockey with an ice cold, pristine Pilsner, Labatt Blue, fella.
Our friends at Labatt. With Labatt, fellas, you can buy beer and get gear. Go to their website, snap a photo of your receipt, and upload it to gain points towards exclusive merch. Any size, any product, fellas, anywhere you're buying Labatt. Sign up at rewards.labattusa.com, fellas.
I'm going to start dishing here. Congrats to Nazem Kadri. 1,000 games in the National League. I watched the ceremony last night before the game, had his beautiful wife and daughter and his parents, and got the silver stick, and it was awesome. Comes out, scores a goal. I don't know if the Flames were listening to Missin Curfew on Wednesday, but they kind of came out like, Obes, you're a fucking idiot, because if they play like that, maybe they will climb their way back into it. But I just want to say about Nazem Kadri, man, obviously played against him a lot. Loops played with them and how much Loops loved them, and I've got to know Naz a little bit, away from the rink, but obviously won a Stanley Cup in Colorado, but the guy plays hard every single night, man. And even last night, he competes, face-offs, blocking shots, physical, and he's got skill. So to him, congrats on 1,000 games. And Updog, the biggest kudos to him, why this guy deserves an ice-cold Labatt Blue, is he plays hard every single night, my man.
He's done it the right way. He's a good veteran. He's played on some great teams. Stanley Cup champ with the Colorado Avalanche. And, now he's in this part of his career where his name is getting thrown around Obes to teams willing to, give up high picks to bring this guy in on his last, couple years of his term. He's a player that can help you get over the finish line. He's a player that fucking engages, brings guys into the fight, Schmaltzy. And with that, I still think he's got a lot of great hockey left, and he showed it last night in a big game for his team.
Yeah, I've always loved watching his game. Obviously, if hindsight was 2020, Kyle Dubas and that staff there probably would have found a way to keep him in Toronto versus ship him to Colorado. But in that breath, he was exactly what the Colorado Avalanche needed to win that Stanley Cup. He played through a ton of injuries throughout that year and into the playoffs, and he was a warrior, and he still is, and I think he still has a lot of game left, whether it's in Calgary or finding a new home. But I've always loved his game, Opes. He plays on that edge. Sometimes he's over that edge, but you know what? Hockey's an emotional game, and you got to bring a little bit of criminal element, and you kind of have to have that fuck you to be an ultimate champion like he is.
Yeah. Speaking of criminal element, I forgot about those suspensions he's took every year in playoffs, eh?
Oh.
It was the same cross-check to the chin, as you would say, Swish, here, right to the guy's lips, as I would say. I'm like, the second or third time he did it, I'm watching the game with Loops, right? I think you're still playing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, fuck, Loops. I love Kadri, but, man, even after the third time, like, you gotta trade this guy.
The moments were too big. You can't,
you can't do that. Like, you're so important to the team. You can't just cross-check Jacob DeBrusk right in the fucking lips or whatever it was. Like, I forgot about those. And that's ultimately why Dubas's hand kind of got forced, right?
Well, look at the way they forced Marner out of town because he's getting death threats.
Yeah.
I think at the same time, there was a big reason why those games, those suspensions and those penalties were just so costly. And it's just unfortunate. Like, because the hockey happens so fast, and you can't give him shit for being soft.
No.
He went just too over Buck, did he?
He just was too excited.
Full up dog.
Yeah, he went full up dog and just cross-checked the boys right in the lips. That's kind of a cunty hit there, though. Watch this. This is up dog style here. Boom.
Oh, yeah, that's the old.
Is that called Frazier? That's illegal check to the head.
These stupid videos and shit.
Yeah.
No shit, Sherlock.
Thanks, bud. We know that was a legal check to the head. Last but not least on Kadri, Uppy, I think about you because you got kids now, and I know how much you like being a dad. They give the kids a little silver stick, too. So that's cool. Pretty cool keepsake. Like, you grow up and, when you become an adult, you're like, yeah, this is the silver stick I got from my dad. So good on the Calgary Flames. Congrats to Kadri. Ovi, 900 goals. Updog already expected you to get pinned on the bird drinking blue lights, buddy. Get yourself an ice-cold Labatt Blue. 900 goals, man.
It's insane. I thought about it last night. I was watching the game, and I thought about it, and I went, I went, holy shit. Like, Christine's like, how many did you have? I'm like, I don't know, 130 or maybe, give or take a couple that went off in my pants.
Yeah.
The guy's got 900
How many kills you have?
900. And then they showed the goal where he's in Phoenix and he shot the one over his head.
Yeah, on Bouchard.
And that was his
Or Bouchard,
that was his 30th goal, 31st goal. So since then he's got 820 or 869 goals. It's, Schmaltzy, it's wild, man. I feel honored to have faced off and, played him in a playoff series where Loop scored in game 7, double overtime. But just like, I played in some great games against this guy. I've seen him score big goals, and now witnessing it still is a treat, man.
You think he's got the number 1,000 in his head before he retires?
Fuck, Swish. I was just sitting here thinking that. Is there any? There's no way. He looks. I never want to
get that number.
Pardon?
As it would probably, say he gets 30 goals this year, 30 more goals, which would be a great year for Ovi. I hope he gets more, but say he gets 30 more, that puts him at 930, and then it would probably take him another 2 years to get to 1,000 at the same pace. And even that would be stretching it. Do you think he has that number in his head? Like, let me get to 4 digits just so the next guy chasing me really has to earn it.
Yeah. I don't know if we'll ever see anyone get 900, will we?
Matthews is.
Yeah. I mean, I think there'll be someone close in, before we're someone's throwing dirt on us. I think there'll be someone that gives him a push, but this is just spectacular. And just because of how old he is now, it's just peppering 40 to 60 goals in for 18, 19 straight years is pretty impressive.
I'm going to say this. It's more than impressive. And I don't think Ovi's exactly on the TB12 method of lifestyle. I don't think he's as dedicated to his body and craft as a guy like Tom Brady. To me, Ovi's starting to look old. Now, saying that, I watched a little bit last night of the Caps and Blues game, and I heard Carter. What's their coach's name?
Spencer Carbattery.
Yeah, exactly. Spencer Carberry say that it's the most jump that he had all season already. So listen, we're 11, 12, 13, 14 games in. It takes Ovi a while to get that big Russian engine going. However, Swish, to answer your question, I don't think he's going to get 1,000. To me, he's looking old. I don't know how much longer he wants to actually have to go out there and compete. I would love to see it, but I don't think he gets it done, fella.
Yeah, I'm hoping you're wrong. I just think he's so good for the game, and I do think once the sled gets going downhill a little bit here as we get into games 20 through 50, and especially before the Olympic break, I think he's going to have a good push. I'm not counting him out yet. I still think he can pot 30-odd goals this year, and we'll see, Obes. I think it's going to be up to him after the year whether obviously he comes back or he wants to play one more year with Moscow Dynamo, his home team, so I don't know. I hope he keeps it going until the wheels fall off, though, man. I love watching this guy score goals. I love watching him drink beers. It's awesome for the game.
I'll tell you what's not great for the game. We don't need to get into the whole political side of it, but the fact that we're not going to get to see Ovi play in the Olympics this year. This is his last fucking crack at it. Like, can they not just go out there and wear, not Russia colors or something? It's just it's a shame we're not going to see him. So we don't need to get into that. Last but not least, get this guy Labatt Blue. Worm. Corey Perry, 1,400 games in the National League for a guy who's got a body on him like Mr. Burns. Couldn't do a pull-up, couldn't do a push-up, couldn't even do a goddamn curl, I don't think, when I first met him. 1,400 games, pairs. Get yourself a Labatt Blue, fella. Keep going. You're fun to watch. 1,400 for the Worm. That's unbelievable. Up, dog, what do you got, fella?
Boys, I'm going to slide a Labatt Blue Light to Cutter. You got to cut it. Gauthier.
To cut it.
Local savage right now, boys. That breakaway goal the other night for his first of his third was live in action. This kid is dynamic. He sees the play happen before his shot. His shot, boys, is lethal. Number 61 here for the Ducks is really making the Philadelphia Flyers, look like that trade was, man, they took the worst of that. But this kid's height and his ceiling, Schmaltzy, I don't know, man. This kid can go get 40 this year easy by the way these Ducks are playing, and he's doing it in fashion. He makes the whole crowd stand on his feet when he's on the ice. Between him and Leo Carlsson, the future is bright, my friends.
Yeah, and I love his game. Obviously, he came out of BC, and he was a hot commodity. He took the league by storm before he even got to the league. Say, hey, you know what? I'm not playing for John Tortorella in Philadelphia. There's no chance.
Yeah.
You got to trade me out of here. And you know what? Danny Briere, Keith Jones did him a solid, got him to Anaheim, got a good return on him, and he is lighting it up. That shot has been lethal since I was watching him at his Frozen 4 days at BC. Obes, this is a kid that I think, like Uppy said, I think he's a 40-goal guy someday, whether it's this year or the following years. But I do love his game, and my God, can he rip the pill, fella.
He sure can. And Flowers was texting me. Flowers is all fired up with the way the Flyers are playing, and he's like, they're missing something, and the guy, I don't know where they're going. I'm like, yeah, they're missing Carter Gauthier.
That's exactly who.
Like, if they had this young kid on that team, it's like, we don't need to go back down that road of why he didn't want to play there. But, like, if the Flyers still had this kid, like, this is kind of exactly, you got him and Zegras and Michkov. It's like, that's what they're kind of missing.
Yeah.
Is a pure sniper.
Yeah, it's exactly right. But wow, the Ducks are in good hands with these young kids.
Swishy, we got, fella?
Fellas, I am going to go a little bit off the board here, but right on the board, if you will. I'm going over to the American Hockey League Hall of Fame, the Jungle Hall of Fame, the hardest league in the world as far as I'm concerned. Yes, it is even harder than the CFL. And I'm going to slide an icy Labatt blue to Raymond Bourque's kid, Chris Bourque, inducted into the AHL Hall of Fame, the Always Hungry League. Obes, 13 years in the jungle, 794 games, 746 points. That is good for .94 points per game. I believe he's had almost a 100-point season dating back to the Hershey Bears days with him in the early 2010s. But yeah, I'm sliding one to Chris Bourque, Jungle Hall of Fame. My God, that is a lot of time on the Bone Rattler, fella. Just absolutely buzzing across the Northeast. So Chris Bourque, one of the better AHL players of all time. Fella, enjoy your time, enjoy your inductee, and get yourself an icy Labatt blue.
He deserves his own keg.
Totally. Yeah.
There's an AHL Hall of Fame?
Didn't know that until I saw the tweet. Yeah, I didn't know it.
AHL Hall of Fame, wow.
Darren Hadar has got to be in there.
Fuck, he was an unbelievable American hockey league player. I hate the Hershey Bears.
I got one of my Calder cups.
Fuck, yeah, they cost me one too. Those pricks. Swishy, good on you. Hey, Chris Bourque, fucking well done, my man. I didn't even know there was an AHL Hall of Fame. Good on you. Boys, moving on here at Missin Curfew. It is milk carton time, and the up dog, we're going to you, and I know you're doing this with love, buddy. Who do you got on your Missin Curfew milk carton?
Fellas, we're going to Missouri on this one, and it's misery there. St. Louis Blues, I love you. I picked you to win the Stanley Cup. I love everything about you. The alumni is great. Shout out to the alumni. But listen, what's going on there is it's hard to put your finger on it. It seems like their mojo's a little into, it's crushed. They get from Binner on all the way up. Jim Montgomery hasn't quite been able to get these guys going since the start of the year. They have now lost 8 of 9 games. There's a stench around the St. Louis Blues. I'm putting them on the milk carton right now, boys, because you guys know this milk carton bump here is a real thing. I want to see them go out. I don't want Braden Shen to be the only guy fighting guys. I want to see everyone getting out of their shell, sticking up for each other, and playing hockey the right way. If you're going to lose it, Obi, this, but losing sucks. There's no right way to do it, but there actually kind of is. You don't fucking give up in games. You still finish your checks. You do it for the guy beside you. And it's just like St. Louis is still, there's something missing. I don't know if it's a young core. I don't know what it is, Schmaltzy. I know you went to X yesterday and asked, what the fuck is going on? I don't know the answer, but boys, I'm hoping this milk carton will get you out of it, fellas.
Yeah, and when I was watching even the Utah Hockey Club last night with Bobby Gucci, and he was like, why does everyone on Utah have a cut on their nose? I'm like, because they're playing hard. They're going to the net. They're in front of the net. They're getting in traffic. They're going to the hard areas. And what I see in St. Louis from the games I've watched and just the people I've talked to and even the good people of St. Louis online on X, we're basically saying there's just no heartbeat. There's no life in this team. How do they get that back? Is it through the coaching staff? Is it a personnel issue? I know it's not a character issue. The characters are there. They have a good core of guys, and they have a really good management team there with Alex Steen and even adding guys around an organization like Chris Thorburn, Robert Bortuzzo. So they have the staff. They have the team. I know they have the coach. But what is going on? Like, just the lack of effort is concerning there in St. Louis, and I think it starts with that. I don't know how you get that message across to the guys. It's obviously got to start inside the room. But Braden Shen can't be the only guy fighting for your team night in, night out, and I just think they're missing a jolt right now, and I don't know what it is. I don't know if they need the fella tour to come through and chop it up at Wheelhouse and get into Clayton and go to a spot like Louis Obes, but it's not great in St. Louis, and the people deserve better.
Yeah, listen, their goal differential right now is -21. They're fucking lucky that they're 4-8 and 12. They could be worse. I mean, that is like 8 goals worse than the Calgary Flames in a goal differential. So they're not scoring. They're not getting stops. Listen, I think Binner's going to be all right, right? He's obviously not getting off the start that he wanted to, but when you have Jordan Binnington, Monty, guys have been there before. Right now, they're 6 points out behind the Los Angeles Kings. I bagged on the Calgary Flames earlier in the week, not thinking they could come back. They played unbelievable last night against Columbus. I feel differently about the St. Louis Blues team. Obviously, this is not the start that I thought they would get off to. Binner's going to find his game. You mentioned Jordan Kyrou. Did you say, Swishy, he's going to be a healthy scratch?
Yeah, he's healthy tonight.
Wow.
Yep.
And he needs to get going.
And he played every game in the last 2 seasons. He's got a 170 game, game streak going, which that's a check your shorts.
I love that Monty scratched him, though.
Yeah.
Just to send a message to the whole hockey club that, this is unacceptable. Obviously, it starts with Kyrou and Thomas, but I think Binner finds his game here. They have character. They have championship DNA. Updog, I think your milk carton bump's going to get him going. I think the Blues can crawl the way back into this. I really do. So
I hope so.
Yeah,
I like they did when they won the Cup, boys. Like, they were dead last. I mean, there's a reason that team that maybe they need to feel the pain.
I got an idea.
And be on the basement in order to get to the penthouse.
Do you bring back Ryan O'Reilly?
The fact dadder.
Do you just say, "Hey, fact daddy, come on back, fella, come on back. Let's turn the clocks back."
Yeah.
I don't know.
Who do you trade for him? Kyrou?
I don't know if Trotzy wants another fucking shitty contract, does he? Trotzy, you want another shitty contract? Or?
I mean, I don't know.
I don't know who you trade.
Little mojo in the room.
Trying to bring more good guys back in that fucking.
Yeah, you need guys that want to battle and engage.
Yeah.
I want to see the engagement out of guys.
Because I know how much, and so do you, I know how much Factor loved being a St. Louis Blues. So
everyone does when they're there.
But I guess when you're sitting second last in the West, you're not going to bring in a veteran guy. So, but we'll see. I think they find their way out of it. Binner finds his game. Last but not least here, before we move into our guest, Brandon Montour, Monty Kid Fella of the Seattle Kraken. It's our Jägermeister Iciest Shot of the Night. Presented by Jägermeister. Serve it cold or don't serve it at all. Jägermeister, damn, that's cold. For more information, visit Jägermeister.com. And fellas, always drink responsibly. We're going back to the big smoke. The Maple Leafs versus the Mammoth AK Hockey Club. Austin Matthews, I took him on DraftKings to win the heart. I need him to get going here, fella. This is vintage Matthews. Boom. One-timer. Unbelievable. Great little pass by Michelli there. Matthews pops out. You'll see a better angle on the second angle, but this is a one-timer. Spink take. Nicky Schmaltz, sorry for the minus here. But this is vintage Austin Matthews. It's our Jäger. Damn, that's cold. Iciest shot of the night. Look at him pop out. Booyah. That's what the Leafs need. And damn, that's cold, up dog.
I think maybe 900 more of those, boys.
Wow, what a shot.
To catch the great Alexander the Great. But yeah, wow. He pops out like that. I don't want to be in front of it.
Cal's a little late to the party there, Swishy. Cal's a little late to the party there.
Yeah, and that whole play starts with Oli Mata taking a bad route to go retrieve that puck. Michelli gets inside ice, is able to snag it under his stick. Just a soft play by Mata. Then Michelli gets his eyes up, and as you know, Obes, is those guys, they find that honey hole right around the nipple. The dot there is 3 feet inside of that. Matthews from there, I mean, that's tea time, baby. So, yeah, great shot, great goal, and, yeah, you'd like to see better coverage there. It kind of reminded me of the goal, honestly. Connor McDavid scored the Four Nations when Austin Matthews was on the other side of it, on the defensive side, kind of lackadaisical and got away from McDavid, away from his check, and he was able to tuck that thing far side fella.
Yeah, exactly. You know, as a D-man, too, when those good players pop out, you're like, fuck.
Yeah,
fuck.
East-West plays behind the net.
I got to get out there, and then you're caught between the shit and the stink.
A little miscommunication, fellas.
Nylander had a nice one last night, too. That could have been our Jäger Iciest shot of the night, where he just kind of came in down on one knee and
yeah, that was cheeky.
It was cheeky. So, boys, love snapping around with you. Listen, we got Monty Kid Fella, Brandon Montour coming up next here. We recorded this earlier in the year. Obviously, Monty's been through a lot, losing his brother. Monty, I love you, fella. I know he's battling it. He's going through it right now, but I know he likes being back with the boys. He loves playing the game. So Monty, I love you, buddy. We're thinking about you at Missin Curfew. Like I said, this was recorded earlier in the year, but enjoy it. One of my favorite teammates, Brandon Montour, coming at you next. I'm Missin Curfew. Welcome back to Missin Curfew. Up dog, Richie fella, friend of the show. Listen, I knew my career was coming to an end in many ways, but when I saw this kid skating at training camp at old Anaheim Ice, I called my assistant, Jill Limpston. Shout out, Jill. I said, hey, start looking for places in San Diego. She said, are you sure? I said, yeah, I'm really fucking sure.
And then in August, because this is ending quick.
And after I got down there, I'm like, you got a flight guide to get me over to Europe there to get me first class seats for a little bit cheaper? Because it's done here too.
I've never done a 10 and 2, and look at this fucking kid skate right here. Right? It's supposed to be my D partner.
It was this beauty and Shea Theodore buzzing around out here, but I can't believe it's 600 games now, 601 games, Stanley Cup champion. Dad now, but Monty kid fella, Brandon Montour, thanks, buddy. Always pulling for you. Good to see you, my man.
Thanks for having me, guys. Always good to be on here.
Hey, Monty, I was thinking about you. I went down to Del Mar to the races with my girlfriend and my boy Billy Quinn, and we were in Del Mar hanging out. And it just reminded me of you young boys back in the day, right? Everyone comes to San Diego the first year. The boys are living out in Del Mar. Like, how many of you young boys were out there living there, and how many guys in the shack did you have to be able to afford it?
I mean, I think the big boy there, Big Rich, was the only one that needed to be, keeping an eye on. But no, I actually thinking about it. You've parked your car and left it there, and I've had to drive it to the rink a few times back then. The younger guy driving, I don't even know you had the Porsche back then.
Yeah.
Ripping that back to practice, so that was funny. But that's actually a funny thing is like me and my wife were trying to figure out. And again, it's not for a while, but where to be afterwards, and we literally discussed, I'm like, I love Del Mar. And she's obviously from California. So we're in that conversation now on where to be, but Del Mar was an area where we've definitely put some thought into.
Yeah, it's nice.
Beautiful. San Diego is going to blow up because LA's just turned. I know. I personally think LA's turned to shit, right?
Yeah.
I think San Diego's the area of that Southern California that just isn't quite like built out to what the capacity could be. Downtown San Diego's beautiful. Del Mar.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. I mean, and I haven't spent too much time there. She's lived there a little bit, and she's from California, so she wants to go back eventually. And my thing was just like, I mean, I like the desert too.
Yeah.
But the desert, or I think San Diego's kind of, if we were to go back, those would be the areas, right?
It's funny. I played Monty, never had to talk about with my wife or my kids where we were going to live post hockey. But then post hockey came, and now I have 3 kids. So those conversations are had all the time. I just want to throw out, you guys are back at camp. You got kind of a younger squad, younger team. When you grew up, like your younger years, was there ever anyone that you lived with the Ducks, or, now that you're a veteran on your team, you got some young players coming in, would it be something you'd ever, have a younger kid live with you? I always thought it's cool when, some guys take in the younger kids. Is there anything you'd ever, think about?
Yeah. I mean, again, we've kind of discussed just a little bit, but I mean, I think our younger guys, we have a couple of young guys here, stepping in here and hopefully making the roster in the next year or two. But yeah, I mean, we have room. Again, this is probably a conversation for me and my wife to have. But when I was younger, I mean, again, I wasn't 18, 19 coming in. I was a little older and preferred being, in my own place. But I'm sure living at, Ryan's place, Getsy's place would have been too bad. But I mean, the guys that I had, Getsy, Kess, Pears, Juice, Bolshman, list goes on with guys, that I had that, probably would have loved to be obviously living with them for a little bit, but having that experience with them, and then I guess, I'm in their shoes now, having that opportunity to kind of coach or help in any way, and off the ice, on the ice. I think that's kind of where I'm at now.
Yeah, Monty kid fella's crazy, buddy. You got over 600 games now, 31 years old. You're a veteran in there. Like, I guess it's a two-part question. Like, how fast has it gone for you, fella? And what have you changed now that you are a veteran defenseman that's played a lot of minutes? You've been to 2 Stanley Cup finals. Have you changed your summer routine? Have you changed your routine at training camp? How have you adjusted as you've, played over 600 games in the National League?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, luckily, I mean, I've stayed healthy for the most part. My body feels like I feel great. I feel like I'm still 20, 21 years old coming in, which is good. Again, the routine and I guess everything changes once the family comes into play. That's obviously still new in the last couple of years, but what, bouncing around. My wife's from California. We would kind of flip flop, half summer there, half summer here. And then we found a nice place up in Muskoka. So we try to kind of make that the number one spot where everyone comes to hang out and be with us. And that's kind of it. Me and Henrique are obviously close. We train together there, and that's kind of how we balance it now.
I want to tag that.
Thanks, Money.
Yeah.
You want to take it?
Tag that just quick, Richie. Sorry. It's Sam Gagner, recently retired, great guy. Had that hockey camp going up there this year. I saw all the clips. You're out there doing your 10-2. All the guys. It seems like a great place to be able.
Just retired, Sam Gagner?
Yeah.
Oh, I got tired. He was retired like 6 years ago. Will stringing it up forever. I think he captained
He's been bouncing back and forth from. I mean, I think he was at Edmonton for a little bit, but he was minors a little bit, bouncing out. And I think he officially retired this year or this summer.
Yeah, he captained the Spengy this year. That's why I was like, "Fuck, you got to string it out to captain the Spengy."
Yeah,
get in there. But anyway,
he's worked at player development with Ottawa already.
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, it's a good. I get the Misco because I've never been up there, but you will go up there, Obes. But it seems like the right place if you're, an Ontario kid like yourself to go in and spend your summers up there and to have like an academy like that to be able to stay in. It's hard on the lake. So when you're going to the rink.
Well, my routine. I'll tell you. So first off, we're trying to figure out where to live. Obviously, she'd like to be in California in the summers. She's like, there's only one place I'd like to be if we're back home, and that's up there. So I'm like, perfect. Like, I want to be back home in the summer. Everyone can come up. But this we have it all scheduled, like set up right. Like Sam's done it good for the last 2 years. Leave our gear at this brand new arena in Bracebridge, which is probably 20 minutes or so from my place. You leave it there all summer. They do the laundry, everything, the sharpening, ice every day if you need it. And then Henrique and I obviously train together. We bring our trainer up, Sean Harrison, three times a week usually. And then depending on how the schedule is, I'll boat over or jet ski over to Adam's place. We'll train. I'll boat, jet ski back. We'll go to the rink. We'll do our thing there. And then we have the rest of the day to kind of do whatever you want with the families. But the schedule is right. I mean, what better place, like you said, like we're not in the city anymore. We don't need to be in that mix. Everyone likes to be at the lake and on the boat. So skate and train in the morning and, the rest of the day to be on the water. It's awesome.
Hey, Richie sounds like us, except for we had Oak Lake, fella? We didn't have we had Oak Lake, fella. And I didn't mind her, though. It was nice. Get on that little Sea-Doo boat you had and get out there and enjoy it.
Oh, Monty, just talking about camp. I was watching, you see all the social media clips of, teams getting bagged. We talked about Lindy Ruff having no pucks for some of the practice the other day. But how's camp going? How are they taking it easy on you? Are you guys getting rinsed pretty good?
You know what? With the new, I've talked to Obes there. Unfortunately, I had a little procedure before camp, so I'm actually missing the first 2.5 weeks. I'll be back hopefully in a week, but new coaching staff for us. I mean, they're not necessarily bag skates, but it's one of those where he's pushing at the pace hard. Sometimes it's worse when you're not going line to line and you're just kind of one-on-ones, battles in the corners, stuff like that. But from the most part, I think what I've seen, camp's been hard. Again, new coaching staff trying to create a different culture, kind of make a hard team to play. And certainly I've liked the last week that we've had.
Oh, well, I got a chance to watch your minor league team a lot over the last couple of years. And I just kind of, I know you just said you were hurt and haven't seen much of camp, but I'm kind of curious to see how like Winterton, I really liked him, this Morrison kid, Evans is just coming up and kind of being a full-time guy. How are they looking? And, how's their development been over the summer?
Yeah, great kids. Obviously Reichs, he's obviously full-time now. He played last year, full year. Like where his game's at, but you know how it is for defensemen. It's tough to kind of mold and get into what kind of role you are. But I think he's obviously got all the tools. Wins has played a little bit, battled injuries, but a heck of a player, can kind of get in. Just has to keep playing well and have a good camp. And then the Morrison, I haven't seen much of him. I know he's obviously a higher prospect and they like his game, so we'll see a little bit more as we keep going.
Monty, I'm going to go back to like Muskokas here for a bit. You just jump in the boat after down to Gravenhurst, hit the Boston Pizza maybe for a couple of
the Boston Brew.
Pull right up to Boston Pizza there. Docker there, get out. Hey, have a couple and
have a schooner, the boys.
It's honestly the best. So, it's as soon as you could figure out how to rip the boat around the lakes, it's easy to get around. And again, you do your business and you're training, you skate in that morning, and then you get the rest of the day to be on the lake, and it's the perfect months to do that.
And then let's not forget the Key to Bala, fella? The Key to Bala.
My place is a little too far from me. I haven't been there yet. Guys were trying to get me to get there, but yeah, I have to drive to get there. But the guys say it's a good time.
It's a good time. I stick handled the boat out of there one night. I got room on the left. Hey. Swing the ass, swing the ass.
I don't miss those days.
Yeah.
Wait, I'm going this way. The boat's going that way.
Boys, I swear to God on my phone here, this has got to be the head. There might be a rock up on the left there. Had someone look out the left side, but
it's awesome. It's long weekend there, Canada Day. Like my whole family, cousins, like we had 23 people at the house for the weekend. Little things like that. It's instead of us running around to see everyone kind of comes up there. It's awesome.
Yeah, Monty, I want to ask you on a serious note now, fella. Obviously, you go to back-to-back finals with the Cats. You boys get her done. You get rewarded with a nice contract that you deserve, and then all of a sudden you got to go to Seattle. You're part of a team in Florida that it was such a close-knit group that you loved being part of, that had a culture down there, and now you got to go to Seattle and bring your Stanley Cup championship DNA up there and kind of be a leader. How was that for you? Was it different than you thought? Was it what you expected? Like, how quickly did you realize, like, holy fuck, now I'm kind of a leader of the Seattle Kraken?
Yeah, and I mean, I think I've always had that. Even in Florida too, we just had a lot more of that. Knew some guys in Seattle. It was one of those things that still didn't know what to expect, and we had new coaches. So what, Disco brought, so all that was kind of new, but I think for me, strength of mind is kind of just felt like I was already a part of it from day one. And obviously bringing, like you said, the cup, a nice cup tattoo on the back doesn't hurt either. We're strolling in right away day one, but it was easy. It's a good group. Again, it's a team. Going forward, I've had conversations with, some players beforehand, coaching, owners, management, and they're trying to push. We're trying to push to win, and that's what you want. Obviously, every team's doing that, but the owners are pushing pressure. They want to win, and that's all you could ask for. And we were excited to go in. Obviously, we signed up for, the long haul, and it's a little obviously different situation than what, the Panthers have been in, but we're excited to, see what we got. Last year, I think we definitely underachieved. We were way better than that. But again, another year, young guys need to get better. We need to get better. And, it's going to be a good year.
Yeah, Monty, I look at your leadership group, Dunner, Stanley Cup champ, Jaden Schwartz, Stanley Cup champ, Chandler Stevenson, Stanley Cup champ. Eberle's a great leader. With your new coaching staff and Lambert coming in this year, what's behind closed doors, the message to you guys as the leadership group, with new coaches? Is he leaning a lot on you? Is he trying to implement some new systems in there? And just kind of how much, the excitement around playing, fresh start, new coach, what's that like for you boys in there?
Yeah, no, you said it. I think for Lane's message right now is, and again, I've told him and everyone, you've been there, you've been on bad teams, good teams, and you get to experience both. But I think for us, me personally, I think you talk to players after that you played with or something, and they just kind of laugh. So you guys are easy to play against, like you guys don't have an identity. You guys don't know, you guys are all the same, all this, stuff. And it's, Lane's came in really good with a really good message of playing hard. He's playing, demanding the right way to play. The accountability is huge. And and not playing easy, easy to play against. I think it's, win or lose, it's the other team's going to make sure, that we're a damn hard team to play against. And that was a tough team, to go through. And I think like I said, it's still early, but, Lane's leadership, so far has been unbelievable with, kind of creating that culture early on.
Yeah, Monty, I want to ask you about one of your teammates. Sorry to keep bringing your teammates up, but I just think this kid went through a lot for me. He slipped in the draft. He had to go to the minors, really learn how to, build his game. And then last year, he really kind of just took a huge step. Shane Wright. Just kind of wondering what you're seeing from him and if he's got another gear to get to another level, because I think he does.
Well, and again, that's what our team needs is these younger guys that we're banking on. Obviously he's a heck of a player. He's fourth, fifth overall pick. But he's got all the tools. It's just a younger guy coming in and needs to learn the professional game. And I think he definitely took a step, last year, and felt like games when they're quiet. He would come out a shift and be buzzing around and rip one top shelf, and you're like, oh, so these, and he's not just the only kid, but I think last year gave him some confidence, and then that's all you need, to keep pushing. But in order for the Seattle Kraken to continue to have success and start winning more games, those guys like Shane and Matty Beniers, and we got this other kid coming up, Carton, that's a stud. These kids need to keep growing, and excited to see what they can bring.
Yeah, Richie, I felt the same way watching Wright play, and now I look at it, I'm like, just watch Patrice Bergeron. If I was like the coach in Lambert, I would be like, just giving how to be the two-way guy, because your odds in the top 6 centerman forward that's going to play all offense all the time is like, you might have missed that boat. Now it's like, learn how to fucking win every face-off and be a good PKer and be like a dependable two-way guy. I just often am like, what? Just look at this guy play hockey. You know? So I often thought about that, Richie, and you're right, Monty. Those guys take the next step is exactly what, you boys need.
Yeah. I just attacked that about Shane Wright. I played junior. I played junior, so I kept an eye on him, and I think he's learning how to play the game the right way. And I think it's tough with coaches changes coming in now, but they got a lot of veteran guys there. And listen, I think Ronnie Franchise did a nice job in the offseason. Mason Marchot's a kid I love. Yeah. Frankie Gaudreau's a kid that can shoot the puck. You bring in Ryan Lindgren to make your back end even better. But Monty, I want to talk about playing for the Seattle Kraken, fella. Updog was a super fan a couple years ago. Like
Schwartzy jersey. Yeah.
You were in Florida going this. You were in Florida going to the state final that year. But Uppy was going up there. He was wearing the jersey. They knocked out the Avalanche. That cost me fucking too much dough. But what's it like playing in front of that fan base? Because watching on TV, and I watched a lot of your games last year. I love your telecast. What's our boy's name there? Does an unbelievable job.
Johnny.
Yeah,
he's the man.
Your boy JT. I mean, we got Johnny, we got Edzo, JT in between the border benches there. They do a good job.
Yeah. But what about playing in front of that fan base, buddy? When she's sold out every night and rocking and rolling, they got some pretty good.
No, I mean, again, you for any, and this goes for me too. Before I became obviously a part of the team, we'd come in, especially being in Florida, middle of winter. We're downtown where it's kind of ugly. Obviously, the weather's fucking shit. You're not kind of checking anything out. First off, so I mean, to experience everything outside, and it's actually hilarious. We can go when we talk later, but you just check out the areas. Like, we're on the east side, so I'm never at downtown, and it's beautiful over here. But just go through the sports. It's Seattle loves their sports. I mean, we just went to one of the Seahawks games, and it was insane. Their baseball is obviously rocking right now. But for us, I think my experience just last year, win or lose, I think it's sold out every night. Yeah. It's a fucking beautiful arena. From what Schwartzy said, even Mush, we're really close, but he was a part of that Dallas team that beat Seattle that year in the playoffs. Was talking with Nate McKinnon this summer at Worlds about when they played him in that first round in Colorado. But they just said the arena's insane. They win or lose, like I said, they're all for it no matter what. But to be a part of when we start winning more games and be in big playoff rounds, I couldn't imagine I got to experience it in Florida with, a non-hockey market turning into, this place is just breeding for, winning teams. And it's a beautiful place to do it.
Yeah, the good Northwest up there. My time in Vancouver, I didn't mind the rain. Hey, just get through practice. Like, I get through practice, I fucking get home, get a bite to eat, have a little nap. Hey, a little nap. Go have some dinner. Who we got tomorrow night? I didn't mind.
I mean, and Monty, you played in some coastal cities, bud. You got Anaheim on your belt, Florida.
Buffalo.
Yeah, don't be laughing there. We kind
of
of hide that little middle piece there, but we made it. We made it there.
Yeah. Hey, Monty, I just want to ask you one more thing. I'll turn it over to the up dog here. Like, you started out in Anaheim, right? You played in the American League down here. You got a little taste of the jungle travel. Then you went up to the NHL. It's tough travel in the Pacific, and then you head east. I know Florida's not perfect, but was there a little adjustment being back in the Western Conference and the time zones and changing all that? Was it something that you had to get used to? Because sometimes out east, you forget about how grueling the travel is out here in the West.
Yeah, I mean, Florida's again, the East is different, but you forget about the big thing, I think, is for me reaching out, or people reaching out saying, you didn't think of us when you signed. Like, they're watching games at 10, 11 o'clock at night again, So, my old man's pissed at me for that. But, the travel is, it is tough. It wasn't something that, as soon as you start doing it again, it's kind of painful, but it is what it is. It's a little bit better. Like in Anaheim, we'd have to Uber to LAX and kind of do that whole thing because Orange County was. I'm assuming it's still the same way, but we got a great setup over here, and we got a couple of Canadian teams that are close. Everyone's fairly close, obviously, in our division, and it makes it obviously that team, the team much closer when you're going on these long. Our first 2 home games are. You're at home, and then we're on like a week and a half, 2-week road trip right away to Canada, Montreal, Ottawa, Toronto. So it gets that team close.
That is team building there. Hey, that is team building. Boys,
I already set up a nice dinner in Montreal, so we're all set up.
Attaboy.
We got to come home. We got to come home with at least 6 points. Let's make sure we get at least 6 points here on this trip. But other than that, let's do some building. Hey, let's do some fucking building.
Yeah.
One of my favorite human beings, not just because of how he plays hockey, but the person he is, Jaden Schwartz. What's he mean to your group? I know he's from setting up golf games at Eldera, their sick track in Ciala, to texting me 2 months before the Olympic break saying where should I take the guys or whatever. He's an ultimate guy. I love his family. What's he mean to your group and to your leadership group and to the younger guys, because he's plays the game the right way. He knows how to lead and just an ultimate guy.
Well, I think you just said it, and I didn't know him too much, just battling him throughout the years. But again, he's a guy. Obviously, he had a heck of a year even last year. I think he had 20. I think he almost had 30 goals. So he led our team in scoring. So he's got to know that he's a heck of a player. But again, like you said, off the ice, and necessarily he talks a lot, but he's, quiet, and when he starts speaking, he's one of those guys that everyone knows, all right, we got to listen up to. He's got that experience. He's great to have. He's one of the best that I've played with, one of my favorite, over, my career. And, hopefully, sometime this year they can lock him up. He's up, after this year and works extremely hard. And I know he wants that. And, we'll see, hopefully we can keep him here.
He's just hilarious too. He just says the most rare updates too. He's like a kid's.
You know what? He's one of the guys is like every morning you look forward to, seeing him either wherever he may be doing, putting lotion on his skin, like little things like he's the best. He's one of the best.
Monty, kid, just kind of tagging that about Upshall and the leadership group you have there. Like, I played with you when you were a young kid, and obviously I've seen you come along and develop into the guy you are. But what kind of leader are you nowadays? Like, I know what you bring to the ice every night, the energy. You don't take nights off, you don't take shits off. You're always moving your feet, you're jumping up, you're physical. But when it comes to the day to day and in between periods, do you like to get a little chatter going, or you just kind of sit back and let your play do your leading?
And no, I think that's. I like to bring, you could ask those guys even, like I talk a lot, on the ice, and, I'm as vocal as, pretty much anyone, off the ice as well. Again, I keep it light from, bad days, good days. I think I'm always in that mood to, enjoy every day and forget about. And I think that's probably experience of just, those playoff rounds that we had in Florida, especially where it's, it doesn't matter, the outcome, you got to move on quick. And, but I also learned from it. I mean, I've experienced being on different teams and have different players from, Ryan and Corey and Cass, and, the list goes on from Anaheim when I was young. And, it just trickles on to, having guys obviously like, Chucky and Barkey, and, they're different ways to lead. But I think for me, I have a little bit of all that where, you lead on the ice with your work ethic, but, obviously, keep it light and are vocal in the locker room when needed.
Still passing the puck hard, eh?
Tape to tape, baby.
Yeah. I mean, I'm keep trying to, pass as hard as you. That's where I got it. So
At least
guys probably get pissed.
Richie doesn't know this story. So, hey, Monty, just so you know, me and Richie grew up 45 minutes apart. We trained together in the summer. It kind of came up together. Richie, at the end of practice, I grabbed Monty and we go from blue line to red line and neutral zone, and we would just rip passes to each other. I'm like, hey, get over here, kid. I'm just going to pass this as hard as I can do. We'll just be standing there. Fuck.
Richie likes slap shots, and they're the trainers. Like, I don't even know who our trainers are, probably fucking just so annoyed at us, But, I honestly, that's one thing that you've taught me, but I try to hammer them at guys, and it's not, they might think I'm being a dick in some ways, but I think that's just kind of just part of my game really now.
That's the NHL.
Crispies.
Nothing better than a crispy rice.
It's a roll D to D.
Hard, yeah. It has to be hard.
Has to be hard, and then fucking they wouldn't let me and Monty play together, Richie, in the jungle down there because they knew we were having too much fun. But when we did get out there, I just go D to D. I'd be like, fella, you hinge. And I just sauce it back to Monty, and he would just skate up fucking end to end. It was quite enjoyable. I'm not gonna lie. I'm like, why won't they put us together? I don't quite get it. Like, we're making it rain out here, buddy.
Yeah, who was that? That was your boy Marty and Daly there.
Yeah, Marty Wolford. Marty, yeah, fuck. You asked me if Jacob Magny's going to play the NHL. I was like, fuck. I'm not the guy to ask about that, Marty. I don't know what to tell you, but Monty, kid fella, you've done a great job of representing Canada at the World Championships over the years, and, you got the invite to the Hockey Canada orientation, which is well-deserved. Listen, fella, I think you have as good a chance as anybody to represent Canada over in Italy this year, but how was it being there with the best Canadian hockey players on the planet and all coming together? And then we love John Cooper and Rick Tocchet. Like, what was that like for, kid from Ontario to be invited to the top of the mountain for Hockey Canada?
Yeah, no, and again, we didn't skate or nothing, but just to be there and just to be a part of, the 40, 45 guys or whatever it was, to be a part of that, meeting Coop. Obviously, we played, battled in the past, but all the coaching, the management, my boy Getz, he was there. He's a part of it.
Yeah.
World Championships, actually, a lot of those guys were a part of that team too. So I got to meet them then, but just, I mean, again, it's guys that you've battled over the years and get to see them off the ice and what they're about. And it's all the same, they're all great guys. And, that's one thing that's, on my list of obviously a huge goal of mine and would be unbelievable to be a part of, playing or not, you don't want to be a part of that and get to experience that. So, we'll have a good start to the year here and, help my team here. And that's only going to help me.
Yeah. And just a follow up on that, like, obviously you're Seattle Kraken, they pay you to fucking go out there and win hockey games for the Seattle Kraken. And if you play well for them, everything will take care of himself. But like, I've never been in that situation where I was even sniffing like to be on the Olympic team or anything like that. Like, how hard is it for you to maybe put that behind you and just say, hey, I'm going to focus on playing hockey. If I make this team, I make this team. Or is it something that you think will creep into your mind throughout the course of the year, or something that you're going to try to just relax on, I guess?
Yeah. I mean, I think it's in the back of your mind for sure. But for me, I think, the best hockey that I can play, until they make that team is only, obviously going to help me, but it's going to help my team. And, the whole thing just kind of keeps, together. So I think, again, once I start skating, hopefully it's in the next week here. My whole mindset is to, again, we underachieved as a group last year, with our new staff here. I'm excited to kind of see what, I can do to help. And, we should be a pretty good hockey team this year. So, the better for that, the better chance, like I said, for me to kind of be a part of. And I have, full confidence in myself to be a part of that. It's just, up to them, at the end.
Well, listen, I'm pushing for you. I don't know
Hell
if that
yeah,
I don't know
we
if that
all
helps
are.
you or not, but I'm fucking in Coop.
Your name in the hat.
I'm in
Yeah,
Coop
keep
to
saying
zero.
it. Keep
I'm
saying
in
it
Coop
as
to
your. There
zero
you
all the
go.
time. I say, Coop, fucking money kid fella. I can fly. I can
I'll
fly.
text
skate
you
big
all day
ice,
out there.
baby.
Text Army right.
You know what? I think it's small ice there. It's
Is it
smaller.
small ice?
I think they said it's smaller in the NHL ice. I don't know.
Really? Hybrid.
Yeah. So yeah, I guess I don't know. I thought it was the big sheet as well, but
Oh yeah, the big
yeah,
sheet. They
we'll
just
see.
open the door and let you go. Hey, fella, on that big sheet,
Oh,
just let
yeah.
him go. Let him
Small
fucking
sheet,
Well,
go.
hybrid, I
hammers
second.
over there in Italy.
I'm okay just mucking in the corners for that tournament too if I need to. There you go.
Hey, Monty Kid fella, last one for me, buddy. I'm so happy for you and everything. And obviously, you know, you won your Stanley Cup. You got to the top of the mountain with those boys in Florida, and you know, you went and signed in Seattle, the contract you deserve. But watching your boys do it again last year, I went through it with Anaheim and I never won one. Like, how is it when you've already won one and you see them do it again? Just did you sit back and enjoy it and be happy for them, or I'm just curious, you know, buddy to buddy, how was that for you to sit back and watch your boys kind of do it again?
Yeah, no, it's awesome. It's one thing too. You laugh at it. Like I've had so many messages and have talked to people. They're just like, "Were you pissed? Like how pissed are you? You ended up in Seattle and the boys go and win again." I'm just like, no, it was. You know, I already knew it was the end for me in Florida and before we even won. So, and it wasn't like I got traded halfway through the year and they ended up winning. Like,
Like me.
it's like it was our. Okay, yeah, that is true. But yeah, so I mean, it was, and I still talk to a handful of those guys every single day, almost it seems like, and it was more just jealousy of the fact of how much fun they're having, and you just experience it again, and then experience after you win and everything that's about that as well. And when I brought it home to the reserve and kind of experience it with everyone there, like it's just it also pushes you that much more. It's like they did it back to back, but if and hopefully I get another chance at it, it makes it that much sweeter, to be able to do it again. It's so hard, and see them do it 3 times in a row, to go back to back to back. Like I think Sam Rhino was over 300 games in the last 3 years. It's insane what they're doing, and they could do it again. I love those guys. I'm rooting for them. Just not against us.
Yeah. Panthers Kraken file. I would love it. Hey, let's do it, boys. I got my dear boys. Yeah, you already got your jerseys. Hey, Monty, I appreciate you, buddy. I'm so proud of you, man. I love watching you snap it around. I watch a lot of Kraken games. Get healthy, get back out there, enjoy the National League, buddy, and keep going because you're fun to watch, my man.
Absolutely. Thanks, guys.
Welcome back to Missin Curfew, Up Dog, Richie fella. Thank you to Monty Kid fella, Stanley Cup champ, dad. Fuck, I met him when he was like, I don't even know, 21 years old or something. Had a girlfriend. I wonder if it's the same girl, maybe. But yeah, now he's over 600 games. He's won a cup. He's knocking on the door for Team Canada. I watch a lot of Kraken's games, man. What's his name? Johnny Forsland.
Forsland's the man.
They call a hell of a match up there. I love watching because of Monty, and take a lot of overs last year when they were playing. I'm not gonna lie, I took a lot of overs.
I love Obes when we get to chat with one of the younger, like old D partners you have, and they all have the same things to say. They're like, "Fucking, you used to pass the puck hard. Fuck, you left your car at my place. I had to drive it to practice."
Yeah, I had to drive you around a lot, didn't I?
Same shit. You just gotta love it. But you're a great teammate to these guys. A lot of them now are fucking winning the ups and still playing. So you taught them the right way. You taught them the right way, fellas.
It's a long stick from Del Mar down to fucking downtown. I'm like, Monty, you grab that, you bring the Pan America practice tomorrow. I'm gonna Uber home, fella. But thanks for having me out here, boys.
Weeks, Monty. I mean, fucking, it's great. These guys are great.
A hell of a teammate.
Thanks, boys. Richie, what'd you think of Bonnie?
Loved him. I've always loved his game, man. He's trying to keep up with that kid. When he cuts the net and he starts wheeling the ice, he's just a great player. He plays hard. I always found him really hard to play against. He's not like super big, but smart with his stick. He'll hit you unexpectedly sometimes.
Oh yeah.
I like his game, and I think he's got a real good shot at that team.
He played the cross growing up, right? So he's good with his. He's good. Like he likes to cross check. He can't do it as much as you like the rules now, but he's good with his stick and he competes. And yeah, I'll never forget. I came out of my first session at Anaheim. I still had a pretty good session. I was like, fuck, felt pretty good out there. And good stick, gap up, feet were moving pretty good, and then him and Theodore were just absolutely flying around Anaheim ice. I was like, who are these guys? Like, that's the first rounder, that's the second rounder. I'm like, oh, Getsy, nice seeing you, buddy. I'll see you in the off season in Big Canyon. So Thank you to Monty. Good luck, my man. Richie, thank you. Updog. Thank you to Hall Pass Media. Kyle, Casey Conway, Max, the Ice Pick Pickup. That was Missin Curfew.
Fellas.